Bass with a screen for Smart. Bass up top. On the wing, Turner from deep. Taylor with the rebound. Evan Turner to start last season, a feature offensive player, Steve, for the rebuilding 76ers.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala and Drew Holiday traded away in consecutive seasons. So Turner's numbers went up with the team struggling, but he didn't seem very happy about the roster changes because they were losing night in and night out.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from Montreal.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Hard, high, and strong. Give it up.
Their bench just erupts at that one. They love it.
Slick. That was just amazing to watch.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Now, Smart. Zeller setting the pick for Smart. Here's Bradley. He feeds it to Bass. Celtics passing it around. Smart wide open. He fires. And a miss there on the triple.
Just an enormous advantage for them on the boards.
Guys, the key to the lead, to me, has been they've dominated the glass. It's that simple.
Nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
Well, they continue to find the open man and play unselfishly. This is true team basketball we're seeing.
Misses in close.
Changing sides didn't seem to help them at all, huh, guys? They've missed their first 3 shots in the third quarter.
Taylor. Good work defensively by Turner.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
To stop the run. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Smart.
Well, head coach Brad Stevens of the Celtics is coaching a much different game in the pros than we see in college. I mean, a lot of differences. But if anybody can make that transition, I really think he's certainly the guy that could. He's bright. He's hard-working. He communicates well. He's innovative. Showed that innovativeness at the college level. So I think he's got all of the ingredients to become a college coach who is successful as an NBA coach.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Bradley. They get it back. Bass. Rejected by Taylor. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. The dish now to Barnes. He kicks it to Jordan. And stolen by Zeller. Turner against Barnes. Turner passes to Bass. He feeds it to Smart. Bradley, no one around him. Knocks down the 3 ball. Bradley's got 8 points. And Coach Stevens, analytically minded at Butler, had a full-time statistician as one of his assistants.
Yeah, very new school in his approach. You might expect that from such a young guy, still in his 30s. Of course, he also needs to connect with his players. And he's doing well. Despite the losses, the players really enjoyed playing for Stevens, and I think he's going to be an excellent coach.
Smart kicks to Bradley. Drills the baseline jumper. 10 points for him.
That's pretty much been the norm for them, getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
Taylor passes to the machine. Out to Taylor. Takes a shot at the elbow, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, he had that height separation there on the mid-range jump shot. Really good job of taking advantage of that.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Davis is checked in for Griffin. Crawford comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Paul in for the machine. Thomas goes in, and he banks in the layup.
Well, he wasn't phased at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
Steve, I thought maybe he preferred to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, the Celtics certainly played with a lot of passion last year. They got off to a start that few thought they would achieve, but even playing with passion can't cover up the holes in the roster.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Haas comes in for Jordan, and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Taylor. Thomas against Paul. Crawford outside. The 3. The rebound by the Celtics. You got to give the Celtics credit, though. They were never really in contention for anything last year, but Clark, they played their heart.
Yeah, they did play hard, played with energy, and that goes a long way to trying to build a foundation of being successful going forward. It might not have done much for them last year, but that attitude is something they can build.
Crawford a screen on Thomas. A shot by Paul, nobody around. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Double team on Thomas. He dishes it to Sullinger. Fires for three. And Olynyk kicks to Jerebko. Crowder the pass to Jerebko. Pass to Crowder. And there's the feed to Jerebko. With 4 seconds on the clock, here's Sullinger. Off on that one. And we've reached the end of the third. Clippers ahead. They lead by 8. We've got more in store for you right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Well, tremendous point guard play, but that's nothing new coming from him. This is what you expect. A gorgeous feed there.
Celtics trail by 8. On the court right now for the Celtics. The skilled front court of Jared Sullinger and Kelly Olynyk. Thomas is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Turner in at the 3 spot. Back to Thomas. Clock at 6. From beyond the arc. And the shot's good from Crowder. Crowder's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Celtics. Clippers leading by 5. Kicks it to Davis. Los Angeles calls timeout.
It's amazing. Isaiah Thomas is just a fighter. He's adapted and thrived at every level. In his 3 years at the University of Washington, he got better and better each season. And in the NBA, barely even projected to make the league. He's outplayed his competition and continued to improve.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Davis. Barnes comes in for Jamal Crawford. Taylor's checked in for J.J. Redick. And the Machine subbed in for Chris Paul. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
And for Thomas, a success born of maturity and dedication. But he said he had to grow up young, going to a boarding school at 16.
Yeah, school across the country from his family. I mean, that can't be easy when you're only 16 years old. He said he hated it at the time, but it's really what made him go from being a boy to being a self-sufficient man. And you can't discount that in his development.
With floor spacing, Steve, more important than ever in today's NBA, some have questioned the pairing of Griffin and Jordan in the Clipper front court.
Well, I think it's worked out just fine. I think they could add a stretch 4 behind those two guys and maybe mix him in during the rotations. But all in all, Griffin and Jordan have played awfully well together at both ends of the floor.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. Gets it up off the inbound. And there's the call on DeAndre Jordan. That'll be his second foul of the game. Well, he holds the reins to this team, and we're seeing some examples of that, Steve, right now.
Yeah, they look cohesive. And, you know, anytime he takes control, you could just feel this group come together.
Yeah, it's priceless when you have a guy who sets the example he does and then backs it up with timely communication as well as consistent performance.
A nice shot by Zeller.
And for the Clippers, their most potent offensive weapon is Chris Paul, coming off the pick and roll and attacking with great ball handling skills and vision. You want to create space for that, but defense more often than not will look to bring help from the front court, and that's when things really open up for Paul in terms of his options.
And the Clippers call time here. Clippers leading by 5. The machine passes to Griffin. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. The machine, and it's rejected. And they get it back. Jordan dishes to Taylor. 6 to shoot. Feeds it to Barnes. A floater. Rebound Boston. Zeller's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Bradley kicks to Thomas. Back to Bradley. Thomas passes to Bass. Bradley drives in. The pass to Bass. That's good.
He was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the 3rd quarter. Zeller grabs the board.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Here's Thomas. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. And it's now only a 1-point Clipper lead.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, their energy is lacking. They've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
Taylor dishes to Barnes. And again, unable to change momentum here. And pushing it up, here's Boston to take the lead. And Turner with the lay-in. Turner's got 4 points this quarter.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting...
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, startling that he'd even try that right now.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're behind by 1. 1:19 left in the 4th quarter. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Paul comes in for the machine. Thomas goes in. No luck. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Fires from the line. Here's Jordan. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Clippers lead by 3.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Bradley against Crawford. Bradley kicks to Turner. Bass with a screen for Turner. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
You know, that's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit, too. That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
We've got 28 seconds left in the 4th, and that one's good.
Oh, that is a massive shot. You know it is.
He's stepping right into the spotlight.
And he commits the intentional foul. There's 25 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And they go to the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good. It's a 3-point game.
Huge free throws there, and that could be the difference. It's a force, more than likely a desperation 3-point attempt.
And Thomas now, top of the key. Count it! And oh, that was an enormous 3-pointer.
Boy, he quieted the crowd with that big shot. That's a big play.
Yeah, the crowd's been hoping for something to cheer for, but nothing.
Paul kicks to Barnes. Dishes to Crawford. Outside Thomas. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot. No good. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a close one. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were